A man can survive poverty and rebuild his wealth. A man can lose a job and find another. A man can fail today and succeed tomorrow. But there is one battle that silently destroys millions of men every day. The battle most people never see. It is not happening in the boardroom. It is not happening in the gym. It is not happening on the battlefield. It is happening inside the mind. Many modern men are not being defeated by enemies. They are being defeated by emotional habits they repeat every day without realizing it. The tragedy is that these habits often look normal. Society celebrates some of them. Friends encourage others. Social media rewards many of them. Yet beneath the surface, these emotional patterns are quietly destroying confidence, relationships, careers, leadership, mental strength, and purpose. An African proverb says, "The axe forgets, but the tree remembers." The emotional habits a man practices today may seem harmless, but over time, they leave deep scars on his future. Today, we will expose the emotional habits destroying modern men and, more importantly, how to overcome them. Greetings, gentlemen. I welcome you to our maiden section on this beautiful channel. Our topic today is the emotional habits destroying modern men. But before we go into that, may I ask you to just take a second to subscribe to this channel now? Also tap on the notification bell so you don't miss whenever we post a new video. We would also love to see your comments. Thank you. The first point we will consider is living for validation. One of the most dangerous emotional habits among modern men is the addiction to validation. Many men no longer ask, what is right? Instead, they ask, what will people think? Their happiness depends on likes, compliments, approval, and acceptance. Here is an insight from research. Psychologists have long identified excessive approval seeking as a major contributor to anxiety, low self-esteem, and emotional instability. Research published by the American Psychological Association suggests that people who heavily depend on external validation tend to experience greater emotional distress and lower life satisfaction. Let's consider this case scenario. Imagine two men. The first starts a business because he believes in the vision.
The second starts a business because he wants people to admire him. When challenges arise, the first man persists. The second quits because admiration disappears. One is driven by purpose.
The other is driven by applause. And applause is a very unreliable source of fuel. Let's look at what ancient wisdom has to say. A Yoruba proverb says, "The man who follows the crowd never goes farther than the crowd." Strong men develop internal validation. Weak men depend on external validation. The second point of note is the dangerous idea of suppressing every emotion. Many men were taught, real men don't cry. Real men don't talk. Real men don't feel. This is one of the most destructive lies ever sold to men. There is a huge difference between emotional control and emotional suppression. Control is strength.
Suppression is denial. Let's consider this insight from research. Studies from researchers at the University of Texas and Harvard have shown that chronic emotional suppression is associated with increased stress, depression, cardiovascular problems, and relationship difficulties. Emotions do not disappear because you ignore them. They simply relocate, sometimes into anger, sometimes into addiction, sometimes into burnout, sometimes into self-destruction. Let's consider this case. A man loses his father. Instead of grieving, he buries himself in work. Years later, he finds himself constantly angry and emotionally disconnected from his wife and children. The grief never left. It simply changed shape. An African proverb says, "The river that forgets its source will dry up." Men who refuse to acknowledge their emotion often lose touch with themselves. Third point, constant comparison. Social media has become a comparison machine. Everyday men compare income, cars, muscles, relationships, lifestyle, success. What they don't realize is that they are comparing their reality to someone else's highlight reel. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found significant links between social media use, depression, loneliness, and reduced self-worth. Comparison creates a permanent feeling of inadequacy. No matter how much a man achieves, someone else always appears to have more. Consider this case. A man earning a decent income becomes unhappy after seeing luxury lifestyles online. Nothing in his life became worse, only his perspective changed. Comparison robbed him of gratitude. Please, take a few seconds now to subscribe to this channel if you've not done that. Also tap on the notification bell so you get informed whenever we drop a new video. Thank you. A Hausa proverb says, "The eye that keeps looking at another man's bowl may miss its own meal." Focus on progress, not comparison. Fourth point, escaping through distractions. Many men no longer confront problems. They escape them through endless scrolling, gaming, alcohol, entertainment, casual relationships, pornography, or constant busyness. Distraction has become the modern drug. Here is an insight from research. Behavioral psychologists describe excessive digital consumption as a major contributor to reduced focus, lower productivity, and increased anxiety. The problem is not relaxation. The problem is using entertainment to avoid reality. Consider this case. A man knows he needs to improve his finances. Instead of learning new skills, he spends 4 hours every night scrolling through videos. Letting anger become an identity. Anger has become fashionable. Many men mistake aggression for strength.
But uncontrolled anger is not power. It is a weakness wearing armor.
Research from the American Psychological Association consistently shows that chronic anger increases stress hormones, damages relationships, and contributes to serious health problems. Let's look at this case. A talented employee repeatedly loses promotions because he explodes whenever he receives criticism. His intelligence is not the problem. His emotional discipline is.
Many men are not losing opportunities because they lack skill. They are losing opportunities because they lack self-control. A Chinese proverb says, if you are patient in one moment of anger, you will escape 100 days of sorrow. 6 point, refusing accountability. Victimhood is emotionally comfortable. Responsibility is emotionally demanding. Many modern men blame government, economy, family, society, friends, luck. While some challenges are real, growth begins when a man asks, what can I control? Psychologists refer to this as having an internal locus of control.
The mindset strongly linked to higher achievement, resilience, and life satisfaction. For example, two men lose their jobs. One spends months complaining. The other spends months learning.
3 years later, their lives look completely different. The event was identical. The response was not. A proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Please, take a few seconds now to subscribe to this channel if you've not done that. Also, tap on the notification bell so you get informed whenever we drop a new video. Thank you. Point number 7, seeking comfort above growth. Comfort feels good, growth feels uncomfortable. That is why many men choose comfort. They avoid difficult conversations, avoid new challenges, avoid leadership, avoid responsibility, avoid risk. Unfortunately, everything meaningful in life lives outside the comfort zone. Research on resilience and performance consistently shows that growth occurs when individuals embrace manageable challenges rather than avoiding them. Consider this case, for example. A man wants a better career. He talks about it every year. Yet he never acquires new skills, never applies for opportunities, never risks failure. His dreams remain dreams because comfort always wins. An Igbo proverb says, he who is afraid of climbing will never enjoy the fruit at the top of the tree. Point number 8, neglecting brotherhood. Modern men are becoming increasingly isolated. Many have hundreds of online connections, but very few genuine friendships. This isolation creates emotional vulnerability. According to research, Harvard's long-running study of adult development repeatedly found that strong relationships are among the strongest predictors of happiness, health, and longevity. Men need brothers. Men need mentors. Men need community. Isolation weakens, connection strengthens. Consider this case. A struggling man carries his burdens alone. Another reaches out to trusted friends and mentors. One drowns silently. The other finds support and direction. The difference is not weakness. The difference is wisdom. An African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So what's the practical solution to this problem? It's in building emotional mastery. The solution is not becoming emotionless. The solution is becoming emotionally disciplined. Here is a practical framework to follow. 1. Practice daily self-reflection. Spend 10 minutes each day asking, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? Is this emotion helping or hurting me? 2. Build a mission bigger than feelings. Purpose stabilizes emotions. Men with meaningful goals are less likely to be controlled by temporary emotional storms. 3. Develop emotional fitness. Just as muscles require exercise, emotional strength requires practice. Learn patience. Practice gratitude. Master delayed gratification. Control impulses. 4. Reduce comparison. Limit unnecessary social media consumption. Focus on becoming better than yesterday's version of yourself. 5. Build strong male relationships. Find mentors. Join communities. Develop friendships based on growth and accountability. 6. Face problems immediately. Stop escaping. Confront issues directly. Problems ignored become crises. Problems confronted become opportunities. In conclusion, the greatest threat to modern men is not competition. It is not technology. It is not the economy. It is not society. The greatest threat is the emotional habits that quietly shape their decisions every day. A man who masters his emotions gains a weapon more powerful than wealth, status, or talent. Because wealth can disappear. Status can fade. Talent can be surpassed. But emotional mastery creates resilience, the ability to stand firm when life becomes difficult. Remember this, a weak man is ruled by his emotions. A smart man understands his emotions. A great man masters them. The future belongs not to the loudest men, the richest men, or the most popular men. It belongs to the men who can lead themselves. And the journey to leading yourself begins with conquering the emotional habits that are secretly destroying your life today. If you found this message valuable, subscribe to MENZ Attraction Guild, where we help men build attraction, confidence, purpose, leadership, emotional strength, career success, and lasting relationships in a world that desperately needs strong and disciplined men. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. Also, drop your comments and tap on the notification bell so you know whenever we drop a new video. Bye for now.